everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cable Chatter. My name is Nick Pulling, director of K.I.S.S TV, and I'd like to introduce you to my very special guests I have with me today. I have Mr. Mike Kennedy, Linda DeHaven, and Mr. Jason Loomis. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
It's good to have all you here, and we're going to be talking a little about something that I guess maybe have started with you, Mike, is the journey home. Tell us, Mike, if you would, a little about the journey home, its origins, and where we are today.
Well, the way it started is I am the Veteran Service Officer for Randolph County, and I've been doing the job for about 7 years. And over those 7 years, I've had to send veterans to Marion, the VA hospital up there, and they go through a SART program, which is a drying out process. Mm-hmm. And when they get done with that program, there's a few places for them to go for aftercare. And but none of those places are here in Randolph County or in the immediate area. And about a year and a half ago, I was on the internet and seen that there was money for homeless veterans, and so I applied. And I got turned down because I'm a government entity. And so I got with Ruth Mills of the Community Foundation of Randolph County, and she told me about how to go about forming a board of directors and getting a LLC, and that's where Linda DeHaven came in, and I just kind of dumped everything on her lap, and between the two of us, we've ran with the ball, and over the past 6 months, it looks like it's going to happen here within the next couple of months.
Okay, so you're saying where it began was you had that concern. We're sending these guys all the way to Marion, you said?
Yes.
Marion, Indiana, which about an hour and a half, plus drive to get them up there just for this kind of treatment. And you're saying, well, why can't we just have something a little local? Okay, so where did it go from there? So Linda came in the picture, and where do we take it from there?
Right, the SART program is substance and alcohol rehabilitation therapy, and it is a drawing out process for them. So they are taken there to go through the withdrawal symptoms that do occur, and they are physically and mentally evaluated. And after approximately 6 weeks, they are released when they are evaluated for that leveled off thing and period. They're released to transitional living. Mm-hmm. And transitional living can be anything from a home such as we are establishing, or to the mission, which they do wonderful work. Mm-hmm. And they provide them a bed and a meal, and they try to work with them spiritually. Yeah. But at the end of the day, they have to leave the mission for so many hours a day and either go work, but they can walk across the street and get the drugs. Mm-hmm. And buy a bottle of liquor. Mm-hmm. And then they're right back to where they were, even though they've been through SART. So it's a vicious cycle. They've lost their families, they've lost their children, they've lost job after job after job. They just can't function because they can't go out into the world and function. Mm-hmm. So this program actually brings them back to basic training. Mm-hmm. And when they're released to transitional living, we're modeling this after the Shepherd's House in Fort Wayne, Indiana, which has been in operation for 16 years. They have approximately 14 veterans living there. 40 veterans. What did I say, 14? 40 veterans living there, and they have a waiting list of about 30.
Really?
Kalamazoo, Michigan is another facility structured like we are, and they are full and have a waiting list. Yeah. There are a couple of other programs around, but they're not all structured like this, and I think Jason has done some research through his students to determine that. We know we're the second one in the state of Indiana, and we are third or so in the nation establishing a home like this. When they enter the home, they will sign a 6-month commitment. Mm-hmm. Can they walk out? Yeah, but they can't get back in. Mm-hmm. The structure is that we provide them a home atmosphere. We will have house parents living there. Mm-hmm. We'll have a manager. We'll have a nurse. We'll have counselors. We'll have NA and AA meetings, and the AA groups in the area are very excited about this because it's an opportunity for them to help other alcoholics and drug addicts cope with their situation and problems, and that's a very healthy thing, because as they go through the 12-step process, which is what they'll go through, the first step is like a circle, and a quarter of that circle represents their physical allergy.
Okay.
To the medicine
Alcohol.
or the alcohol.
Yeah.
3/4 of that represents mental obsession. So it triggers it. But as they work through the program, make the amends, recognize they've wronged and what they've done, they get to the end, and that is where they begin to see the light and help other veterans. And this is helping other veterans along with the programs. They will attend a meeting a day, if not more. It is a spiritual-based program, and they will be encouraged to go to church, but not forced to go to church.
All right. So it began with, again, finding that need. There's obviously a great need because you're talking about places with waiting lists, that obviously we have it here in this area. So did it begin with finding a facility? And we found one, obviously.
Right.
So,
The Randolph County had at one time the youth center. It was in the old hospital on 325 South Oak Street. And before I got the job as a veteran service officer, I was one of the employees there. And so I knew the facility and that it met all the standards that the VA needs, the fire safety, the fire exits. Every room has its own restroom facility, shower facility. It's handicapped accessible, kitchen area. I mean, it is perfect. I have to do absolutely nothing to it. I could move a veteran in there today.
Yeah.
We do have to do some construction for the house parents that will live there, but other than that, if I had the monies, I can open the doors today and start putting veterans in there. And the commissioners, I approached them about it, like I said, about 1.5 years ago, and they felt that it was a great idea, and that they give me carte blanche to run with it and see how it goes, and it's going pretty good right now. So.
Yeah. So it's making use of the facilities that were otherwise not being used.
Yeah, they weren't.
And they were perfect for your needs, like you said, a restroom and handicapped accessible and all that. So we've got our facility. We're starting to get some volunteers helping us out. So obviously now is the time to push some fundraising for you, so we can get to that next level, getting veterans into this program and getting through it. And that's where I think we reached out to the school system. And how did that partnership work out?
Well, I think it was back in September. Got a call from Linda, and she basically outlined what the plan was and what this home was, all the things that it entailed. And veterans have always been, just on a personal level, have always been near and dear to my heart. My grandfather served in World War II, and I have an uncle that was 25 years in the Army and was in Desert Storm. And I tell my students all the time, I don't know if they get the impact. I hope they do. I tell them all the time, there's really no more noble profession than to volunteer to serve your country. And for these veterans to go and defend our freedom and to fight and to do what they do, these men and women, to me is an amazing thing. And I try to emphasize the importance of that. And to ask these veterans, these men and women, just to come back and just to function in society, when they get home is a lot to ask for a lot of these people. And when we hear about things like this, facilities for veterans and things, it's a much needed thing, especially around here when you look at all the counties that surround us, and there's no home in this area for veterans like this. So when she approached me about it, I was on board. She didn't have to do much convincing.
Didn't have to twist your arm.
She didn't have to twist my arm at all. It was, I knew the relevance and I knew the importance of what they were trying to do. And I think the kids responded pretty well. We have a program here at school. It's called AVID. I'm the sophomore AVID teacher, so I kind of threw them to the wolves and said, hey, you guys are going to be in charge of kind of spearheading this whole operation. So one day in class, we kind of brainstormed and talked about different ideas and, what kids would be into and, different ways to raise money and some things like that. Excuse me. And we came up with a couple ideas. a couple weeks ago, we had a big volleyball fundraising event where students would sign up to participate in the volleyball evening, and they would, to play, they had to give a donation. We invited students that didn't want to play, parents, people, from the community if they wanted to come. We just had a donation jar at the door, and we said, donate as little or as much as you'd like. We had, between the players and the audience, we had over 150 students
Really?
between the junior and senior highs that were there that evening, which I thought was really cool. And in that evening alone, we raised around $250, which I thought was a pretty good amount, to ask our kids to do and donate. We had a donation jar during senior night of the football game a couple weeks ago at the concession stand. We typed up an announcement so the announcer read what the journey home was about, and if you please donate. We got some money there, and then we had a little bit more of a fun competition during the pep session last week. We came up with the idea to put some jars out in the library for teachers who are willing to take a pie to the face. So that was an interesting experience. My kids were all over that one. That was, I think, the first suggestion they had when we were talking about ideas. Hey, let's throw pies in teacher. How fun is that? Of course that's fun. So basically we had jars with teachers' names on them, and they could drop in, coins and dollar bills and things, and that was a cool experience. I think the coolest experience was we had a freshman student. I'm going to name him by name because I think he deserves that recognition. His name is Kyle Reichert. He's in 4-H, and his 4-H group donated $250. They wrote a check for that. So when it's all said and done, we've raised $600 here. And I think for a school our size and with our demographics, I told him at the beginning, I said, I think a good goal would be $500. And to be honest with you, I thought I was kind of shooting for the stars. I thought, maybe a couple hundred, and, they came through, and I think $600 for us is great. And I know it's a small drop in the bucket when when you all are trying to raise the amount of money you're trying to raise. But it's been good. The kids are on board. They participated in the fundraising. They were talking about it. There was buzz about it at school. And it just, the whole thing, I think, was done very well. So I think the students deserve a lot of credit for that.
And not only, because we had all these fun events happening and fundraising going along with them, but it raises awareness for our students to understand what's happening in our own county, is that there's a need out there, you probably feel the same way. Sometimes students, they can get into their own little bubble. My world is all there is, and we're not thinking outside of our own bubble, our own little world, and we realize that there are people who really have, some immediate concerns for their health, for their safety, for other people's safety, and this is something that we could jump on board with. So we had a great time with that volleyball game. I got to see the footage of it. Of course, we had one injury.
We had a casualty.
Oh no!
Not quite a casualty. I mean, we had a little injury. One of our teachers, all for charity, went the distance. I think ACL and
Oh no!
Oh no!
I can't remember all the different injuries.
She's not as young as she used to be, or that she thinks she is. I think
I'm gonna make sure she sees this portion of the show, so you can answer for that anyways. But Ms. Becky Keel went through a lot for that, and
she zigged when she should have zagged, I think, or something. I'm not sure.
So we had students versus teachers for that, didn't
Correct.
we?
We had a couple staff teams too that participated, and that added to the experience too.
Oh, that's fun.
That was pretty fun.
What were the end results of the scoring?
Let's see, the team of there's a group of junior guys that won, and they beat one of the staff teams in the finals, and it was a close game. That was the game when Miss Keel went down in the championship game, right toward the end of it too. We had the whole night, and right at the end.
Yeah. She was trying to finish strong, right?
That's right.
Okay, but in all, she's all right. She's hobbling around the hallways even as we speak, probably. So we just applaud her for all that she did, and all the rest of the staff, the students that you had participating in that. I think that's just great. Being able to see what's happening with the journey home and being able to have fun at the same time, so that's great. And being able to have a lofty goal of $500 and exceeding that
Wow,
goal. So,
that's
It's
wonderful.
wonderful.
yeah, and I know you'll put it to good use.
Oh, yes.
And I do have an appeal
Mhm.
to the public. The Starlight Skating Rink is sponsoring an event for us for the Journey Home on November the 10th from 2 to 4. You don't have to skate because I wouldn't get on skates again. I met Phil when we were skating, that's how we met, but I wouldn't get on skates today. But if you can come and just drop $1 or $2 in the bucket, or if your kids like to skate, come out and have a little fun. Parents come with them. It's just going to be a fun evening, and all the proceeds are going to the Journey Home, and we thanks the Starlight Skating Rink for that. The second thing, we are having an open house on November the 11th, which turns out to be a very busy day for us for Veterans Day, and I'm thrilled to be able to participate in so many, and Mike and the whole board of directors is participating in Veterans Day because we have many, many schools, just like here at Randolph Eastern, that are participating in that, and we'll be making appearances there. That evening at 7 o'clock, from 7 to 9 o'clock, at 325 South Oak Street, which is the new facility, we are having an open house, and it's as is. If we have some construction work going on, you're going to see construction work going on. But it'll be clean. We'll have some light refreshments, which seem to be turning into heavy refreshments. But everyone is very excited about it. We want you to come and see the donors, the veterans, the public, the people who are doubting. We would love for you all to come and see what is happening there, and it's happening very fast. This is a faith-based program. And I read this morning where God is preparing me for today, and I just need to get ready for what the action that He has for me today. And we give Him all the credit, and we love this program. We would not be able to be talking to you today if our veterans hadn't served. And Mike Kennedy is one of the most outstanding veteran service officers in the area. He is awesome. We're working with the Dayton VA. This is a 7-county program. We're going out to all the 7 counties, and after the program is open and is running fully functional, and we've probably exceeded our capacity of holding 15 men there, we'll find another facility and open it up. But it will be open to veterans across the United States. So all 50 states are represented at the other 2 facilities, the one in Fort Wayne and the one in Kalamazoo, and the same will happen here if we have room. So it's a very rewarding program, and if you, after we get open, come over and spend time with them. They need visitors. They need a package of cookies, and after they earn the right to be able to leave the facility, come in and take them out for a cup of coffee and go to Wick's Pies or go downtown and have a hamburger. They will love it. We'll need everything. We need gently used towels, washcloths. We need new boxer shorts. We'll need sweaters, coats. Some of these men will come in with nothing on except what they have on, and they have to strip and shower and go through an entire process just to make sure there's no varmints on them. Bed bugs is the biggest issue. And they may not even have a spare pair of shorts to put on, so they need socks, they need flip-flops, they need t-shirts, of course t-shirts that are not with anything alcohol related or with any bad language on the t-shirt. But we need all of those things. Yesterday we received a stove. A new stove has been donated to us, and we are thrilled with that. So the only thing lacking in our kitchen is a dishwasher. If someone out there would like to talk to me about the dishwasher, I'd like to get a new one and a fairly high-grade one because it'll be used a lot. You can reach me at 765-744-6785, or
You can reach me at 765 584-1463. And if you'd like to make a check donation, it can be made out to the Community Foundation of Randolph County. And in the memo note, put the Veterans Home or the Journey Home, or just so that they know it's going to the Veterans Shelter. And you can either send the check to my office, which is also at 325 South Oak Street, Suite 102, or you can send it straight to the Community Foundation in Randolph County.
One thing we didn't address is we will have house parents that live there 24/7. We'll have a manager, we'll have a nurse, we'll have counselors. All of those things will be provided. So this is not just a home for them to live in. It's a home for them to stay in a structured environment and get well.
Right. And so, obviously, there's still some needs out there, obviously money and household items like you were just talking about. A lot of people out there are thinking, you know what, I've got a spare whatever appliance, some extra clothes, some extra towels, things like that are out there that are just sitting in the attic. You could donate them, obviously, to any of our clothing shelters, but this is something that maybe is just another facility that could use those, and they will get used. So that's fantastic. So there's some still needs out there. Volunteers, like you said.
Lots and lots and lots of volunteers, because we'll need volunteers in the office. We'll need volunteers to just sit down with a veteran. The volunteers will be ongoing. So anyone that wants to volunteer, and we're actually doing cleaning right now of the furniture that's been donated. And so that's the process. And beginning Monday afternoon, November the 4th, we're going to start painting the facility. And we need help. We need help painting it. So anyone that is willing to come over, call one of us. We'll make arrangements to get you in there and get you going.
Yep.
Thank you.
And just to make sure that everyone knows about the events you're having, one more time those dates. We have November 10th is the skating at
November
Starlight.
10th is a skating party at the Starlight Skating Rink in Winchester, and all proceeds go to the Journey Home. Come and have a fun night. November the 11th, 7 o'clock in the evening to 9 o'clock at 325 South Oak Street in Winchester. In the facility, you'll be able to tour the facility completely. We'll have it pretty much staged, and you'll be able to see probably construction work in process to create a one-bedroom apartment for the house parents. We think going to take about $10,000, but I'm working hard, and all of us are working very hard to try to obtain donations towards that. I need a kitchen, so if anybody's tearing out good kitchen cabinets that are still usable and good, I'd be glad to take a look at them and see if they meet our needs.
Okay.
The only other thing I would say that on November the 11th, most of the schools in the area do put on a veterans program. And I am attending two of them, the one at Driver Middle School, and I'm the guest speaker at the Winchester Community High School. But I would encourage all veterans to get out and see the programs that these young men and women put on for the veterans of the county. I've attended just about every school throughout the years, their programs, and I have enjoyed every one of them. And they really look forward to veterans being there. So I would encourage, even if you don't have a grandchild or a grandson, get out there and see what these kids are, and it lets them know that, you know, they appreciate, and vice versa. It's a good program.
And if you know a veteran, send him a card, or her. Send them a card. They very much appreciate it, and very few people do it. Send a card. You can send cards to any of the veterans hospitals. You can send cards to the Shepherd's Home. You can send cards to Kalamazoo. You can send cards to your neighbors that you know are veterans. It is never too late to say thank you for the service that you gave to us.
Absolutely.
And Mr. Kennedy was just talking about Veterans Day programs at schools. Our Veterans Day program here, which is open to any veteran that would like to attend, is going to be on November the 11th at 12:30 p.m. With a short reception following to honor the veterans. It'll be in the high school gym, and then the gym foyer will be where the reception is going to be. So any veteran that would like to come and be a part of our program, you're more than welcome. The more veterans, the better. So that's, again, it's Monday, November the 11th at 12:30 p.m. at the high school gym.
Absolutely. We have a lot of great stories to be told out there. And so that's why, this is kind of weighing on their heart. It's near and dear to their heart in some way. Maybe they've had a family member, maybe they're veterans themselves, to be able to volunteer or give to this cause because they understand and they know what needs are out there. Real quick, we talked about it's a 7-county region. It's not just Randolph County.
No.
No.
What are those 7 counties, if you happen to remember all of them? They're the surrounding
Yeah.
counties, aren't they?
Jay County, Delaware County, Henry County, Wayne County, Randolph County, Darke County, Mercer County, and Preble County.
Okay, so if you have a family member out in those surrounding areas, just understand, they can understand that they can be part of this program as well. And like you said, expanding this to include all 50 states is the goal that you have in mind. So obviously the needs are great. And so if someone were to make a donation, we've gotten some contact information. I'll ask you in another minute to make sure that we say those again. Are they tax deductible if they give them to the
Yes.
community foundation?
Yes, we have applied for our 501(c) number, and the Community Foundation, this is how they work. They help foundations get started, and the Community Foundation has their own EIN number, so it is fully tax deductible.
Great. Okay. So that's fantastic. So they would make it to the foundation. That's the way
Right.
that it gets to you.
Right,
Of
and
course.
matter of fact, the best way is in the memo note that they put Veterans Home or Journey Home down in the memo note, so that when it gets to the Community Foundation, they know what direction to just put it in.
Great.
And if it wants to be done anonymously, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, and we're going to put this information on our website, kisstv.com/Union City. That's just our information page that we have out there for anyone that wants to get this contact information. Maybe you saw this show and then the contact information flew by too fast. Go online to kisstv5.com/Union City. Union City. I'm probably going to make sure that Mr. Brewer gets this on UnionCityNow.com as well. So one more time, that contact information to get a hold of either one of you two, phone numbers, email addresses, anything like that you'd like to get out there.
Linda DeHaven, 765-744-6785. Email ldehaven67@gmail.com.
And Michael Kennedy, it's 325 South Oak Street, Suite 102, 765-584-1463. And my email is acronym for my office. It's rcinvso@yahoo.com.
Okay, we're about to wrap up here with our last couple of minutes. Is there anything that we've forgotten to make sure that we want to get out there for the public?
I need $50,000 to open the doors, and I'm about halfway there, if not a little bit over halfway
We're more
there.
than there.
But I need $100,000 for the first year to make it a truly operational, functioning, and to get me through that first year. By then, grants and that kind of stuff will start coming in, and we should be able to start getting the VA assistance that I applied for originally and was turned down for. So, donations.
Yeah.
I'm ready
All
for them.
Okay.
Yeah, the VA will pay us per diem
Yeah.
for each vet that's in there, but it's not very much money.
Right. So right now we're just trying to get established. So I just want to thank everyone for being here today. I really appreciate you coming out and letting us know what's happening. Some of us may have heard a few things out there, some conversations, but this really lays it out for us great, so we can understand what we're trying to do with this program and where it's going to go from here. So I appreciate all three of you being here on this episode of Cable Chatter, and thank you for viewing today. Appreciate your time and your efforts with this. Maybe you have something weighing on your heart today after listening to both Mike, Linda, and Jason speaking to you about the needs that the Journey Home has. Okay, so maybe it's monetary donation you can make. Maybe it's an appliance. Maybe it's some clothing, volunteer time. These are things that all of us have and all of us have to offer. So I'd encourage you to get in touch with them, find out more about this program, be there at the fundraising events, and be there at the open house to see exactly what's happening with this. So for me, Nick Poling, this has been Cable Chatter. Have a nice day.